Welcome back to the Bruce and Sasha Show. This is part 3 of Who is Don Russell? Let's get into it. So we left off where Bruce figures out that Don Russell has his brother's master copies of his life's work as well as his personal items. And we're going to pick up right where we left off. Go ahead, Bruce.
So if he didn't know anything about his masters being taken, then the other stuff, I know he didn't know that those were being taken either. Because why would Don take Robert's photo albums with his kids and our family in these books and stuff? And then you had a lot of music that Robert called his vault that's unpublished, that he never would have given to anybody.
Hold on now, wait a minute, fellas. Wait a minute. I think it goes something like this. Whoa, whoa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can somebody take these burdens off of me? Off of me. Can somebody take these burdens off of me? Off of me.
Who is Don Russell for Robert to okay him to get his music that he is too protective of? Wow. He took that music. He took the masters without Robert's consent. He did that on his own.
So did you find out that he took this? How did Robert tell you that he took this and he didn't give him permission, or you just found this out? How did you know that Robert didn't give him permission then?
I knew that through Keith.
Okay.
I found that out through Keith. But you know what? When he told me that he had Robert's masters, and he said he was telling me that he took him because he was protecting them from the FBI or whoever whoever came in with the search warrant for Robert's storage facility. But to my understanding, they went in there for looking for videotapes, stuff like that. You're not going to get a video off of Robert's masters. There was no reason for Don to take Robert's masters. They didn't have any reason. The FBI don't have any reason to take Robert's masters. So why would you? Especially he didn't tell you to do it.
And so was he already in there before they went in to look for videos? Was Don Russell in the storage unit before the search warrant?
They had already been in there.
Okay. So
they had already been in there, and they did not take they didn't take the masters. They took some stuff, but not the masters. Okay. So why would you go behind them and take the masters?
Right.
And the other stuff as well. So that was a bunch of bullshit. He had something planned.
Well, I can still see at that point, if I just go through the timeline of what you talked about, I can understand why you would still believe he was there trying to help him, just to kind of bring this into perspective. You got out, they gave you a place to stay, seemed like they were there to help Robert, knew a lot more about what you've missed while you were incarcerated, And I also just want to bring this to the viewers' attention. I don't know if they're aware of, you were not incarcerated, anything to do with Robert's case. It was something completely different. I'm correct about that, right, Bruce? And then
absolutely, it had nothing to do with Robert.
Okay, I just want to make sure because people over here may not know that. And then I also just wanted to just kind of go into, so I can see why you would have understood that or been looking at this, but at the same time skeptical, because I, from speaking to you, know how protective you are over your brother Robert. And I want to say that, that I can see where you had, your antennas were up because you don't know Don Russell, and you feel as if your brother maybe don't know Don Russell either, but yet you're put in a kind of precarious situation here where these people gave you a place to stay when you're already down on your luck, so I can understand what must have been, how you must have felt being there, and then opening a box and seeing pictures of your mother and Robert's children, and you've been away for 2.5 years and trying to catch up with what your brother was going through and figure out how can I help him while I'm also trying to help myself, get myself situated here. So I can see where, and if Don Russell, I don't know him and I don't know what his intentions were at the time, if he came in with good intentions or not, but I can see where, him saying that he took that stuff to protect it. I don't understand why he would be saying he would take a master's so that the FBI would not get their hands on that. So there's a red flag for me. What does the master's have to do with his case? And if the FBI was already in there, why, and they wanted his master's, obviously they could have taken it. So I just wanted to intervene with that what I'm hearing you say. So yeah. I can understand why you were still giving him the benefit of the doubt and trying to figure out what was really going on there with your antennas up.
Absolutely, because when I found out that the masters are no longer in Chicago, that he moved them to L.A., where he was down there, because he told me he was managing a Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. He was down there helping someone out manage a Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. So that's why he was always in L.A. or what have you. But you take Robert's masters all the way to L.A. across state lines without his permission. And then you start devising a plan to make some kind of deals with his masters, in which I remember him having a meeting with Keith and Santee and his mom. Now the meeting went on in his dining room, and the meeting was going to be about him have made some sort of deal with somebody about the masters. But here's my thing. With the masters, this is Robert's life's work. Almost most of the songs that Robert did back in the 90s, all his hit songs and hit albums and stuff, was did on these 3-inch masters. What kind of deal could you possibly get to, these songs are already published. They're already out. They're in rotation. Okay, I have to say all over the world, because even though Robert's going through what he's going through here in our country, about him being muted and all that and stuff on the radio and all that, but he's not muted all over the world. You know, in other countries, they still love Robert. They still love him here. They still play Robert here. But in other countries, it's like nothing ever happened. They still play R. Kelly music. They still buy. They still stream. They are very pro R. Kelly.
Right. So loyal and dedicated fans all over the world for sure. I just want to. I'm a little confused though, and maybe you can help clear this up for me, because so you're telling me that Don took the masters to protect them, or that's what he told you, and then he hauled them across the country, and he's having a meeting with somebody to possibly sell them, but his music. The music on the masters, besides what was his vault music, as you referred to, the music on the masters is what your brother was fighting to get back, the rights to his masters. So Don Russell is selling what your brother is fighting to get back and doesn't have the rights to it.
And Don Russell wasn't trying to sell them. There was a deal he was trying to actually. When Don came to me and told me, first of all, he thought that I didn't know any better, because what he found in Robert's warehouse, he found I guess it might have been in CD-ROM format. There was Robert had made up this thing called Kellznation. It was really for his fans. It was for his fan. He was going to do a fan club. It was going to be called Kellznation, where you can go and you can get R. Kelly memorabilia, R. Kelly everything, anything. And so Don ran across this, rummaging and rumbling through Robert's warehouse. He found it. And he showed me on the computer and tried to make me believe that he created this. What he didn't know is that I already know that you're full of shit, that my brother came up with this. And I remember just like it was yesterday when Robert showed it to me. And he thought that I didn't know about that. But I played along with him like I didn't. I played along with him because I wanted to know just how far this dude was trying to go to try to make money off of my brother. So I let him think that I didn't know any better. Or, yeah, you made it up. Oh, man, this is cold. This gonna do good. I let him believe that. Yes, I did. Because I wanted to know where Robert's masters are. And yeah, I took stuff out of his house. I took my brother's stuff out his house. Because he didn't have no business with him in his house in the first place. And he told me I'm going to be in trouble because I'm stealing from him. I didn't steal anything from him. I took my brother's property back, and I got the right to do that. And yeah, I'm telling it. I'm telling it on social media. I tell it to the judge that I took my brother's stuff out this dude's house because he took it without my brother's permission. And I think that the judge would. I think that I'd probably be the winner here.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm not. I'm not.
So was it the Kellznation thing? Is that when he showed you that and pretended that he created it, thinking you didn't know, is that when you knew that Don Russell was up to no good or had an agenda? Was that the pivotal moment for you, that this dude is doing too much and out to do more harm than good? Or, I know you said along the way, seeing the pictures, things like that, seeing the box of things that he had taken, but when he showed, it sounds like that to you was the chicken dinner, basically. He showed you the Kellznation, you played along with it, but you knew this man was really about a chicken dinner.
Basically, I knew that he was, before that, I could sense certain things. That Don was full of shit. After they had the meeting, Keith and I go back, some time. We go back a long way, 40 years. Okay. So, as I said, Keith was at this meeting and everything, and Don presented what he presented at this meeting and everything. And I know when Keith heard what Don had to say, he didn't even have to tell Robert. He already knew what the answer was going to be. He already knew it. But he went ahead and he talked to Robert and told Robert what the meeting was about and this, that, and the other. And Rob said, hell to the no. Don't fuck with him no more. Period. So Don would call Keith, and Keith wouldn't answer the phone. He wouldn't answer the phone. But, and I knew this, but Don thought that, I don't know why he thought that I wasn't talking to Keith, because he'd tell me that he talked to Keith today, and Keith said this, that, and I know he ain't talked to Keith. Because I've been to talk to Keith, and I said, you talk to Don? Man, I ain't talked to no Don. I don't answer his calls. But he telling me that he didn't talk to Keith, and Keith said this, that, and that. Yeah, so, I pretty much knew Don Russell was full of shit the whole flick. He was full of shit, But, I'm kind of like stuck in the middle of a rock and a hard place because I am paroled here, so I got to play it cool.
So how long did that last? Cool. How long did that last, you staying with him, and then how did it end? And
well, okay. Again, I paroled out the 14th of July, 2020. And I pretty much, I was there. I left there in January. I think it was probably like January 10th or somewhere in there, because I know when we were supposed to have a meeting, because I had brought Carrie into the fold. And, I had fixed the basement up really, really nice. I had put the studio up, but I also had a studio in my room. I put a studio in my room. And, Carrie and I were still doing our thing. And Don was steady trying to get us, or to get me to change my mind about, letting him help us out with our documentary and all that and stuff. And then Carrie and I, we start having problems seeing eye to eye, because as I told Carrie, I'm not going to let no one come in between us and this documentary. If we're doing this documentary, we must be the ones to do it. And this is only for a business. This is only business. We do the documentary, we do the filming, we do the editing, we do everything. We own it.
Right.
He came to me and told me that Tasha K wants to film our documentary.
Kerry said that, or
Kerry,
John Russell?
Kerry told me this.
So he was already talking to her.
Yeah, he's been talking to Tasha K because he's been on her show several times.
Okay.
You know, and for some reason he told her that I was going to come on her show, but I didn't tell her I was going to come on her show. You know.
You never talked to Tasha K, right?
I talked to her, but I talked to her and told her I'm not coming on her show.
Okay.
You know, and I don't know why Kerry would tell you that because, you know, the way she talked about my brother, what the hell? Why the hell would I go on her show? I'm not. I'm not Kerry. I'm nothing like Kerry, and I would have never ever went on that girl's show and said anything that's going to incriminate my brother into the bullshit that they trying to get him in trouble for. I would have never did that on nobody's show. I mean, I may go on the show and I might talk about our situation or whatever, but it's not going to be about what they want to hear. It's not going to be their narrative.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Mm-hmm. So if that's what you're looking for, you got the wrong one because I'm not going to be the one to do that.
Okay, and how did Kerry get involved with Tasha K? Are you aware of that, or do you know what brought him to Tasha K, or did Tasha K come to him somehow, or do you know that?
Well, Kerry had a manager. He had a manager, and his manager got him the little interviews that he was doing with Dr. Oz, and the little few shows that he had went on and everything. His manager got him those little interviews and so forth. Okay, so if I believe, now I could be wrong, I don't know. I believe that his manager probably was the one who got him on Tasha K and negotiated, you know, some money, you know. But, you know, I simply just don't understand, you know, because for you to get the amount of money that, you know, you got, is it worth losing your brotherhood? You know, and your brother really needs you at this point in time in life, and you would fail him that tremendous.
Wow. And
so I felt like, you know, when I got out of jail, I had to bring us together. I had to, because I cannot see us failing my mom, her legacy of bringing us up. She didn't bring us up like to destroy one another. She didn't do that. She didn't bring us up like that. She brought us up to protect each other, protect one another. You know, don't betray. You never betray your family. You know, and from what I heard, I simply could not believe that that this was coming out of Kerry's mouth.
This is Bruce Kelly. You've been listening to ACN Newsroom, the Bruce and Sasha Show. Cut the shit. Be sure to tune in to to the final chapter to Who is Don Russell. A lot would transpire at the dining room table as Carrie, my little brother, tries to throw me under the bus in the hopes to sway Don to get me out the way and to get my parole violated so he can get his music on Don's Indie Build website and totally diss our own brother, me, the family, and the documentary that we were trying to produce. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Like and share the videos and let us know what you think by leaving a comment. Until next time, I can't let people just do my brother any kind of way they want to do him. That's why I'm here, to cut the shit.